surrounded by agents congregating, watching your every move. Targeted individual, wish you was a fucking trigger exercising, got it clean with cool as a fan, breathing in and out, controlling my Bella house water spiral, 9 mid on the win lose or draw. If you quick enough, standing that run up baby, let resistance knockers and listen, we lay low in the mud, fire fighting with present, Naga Maya, eating Israelites, charging, think that we out here shooting arrows, they gon' stay with them tornadoes, heaven gon' listen, storm, ever so there's none, it's like it's the day of creation, got a destiny with victory waiting on to receive us, anointed within the waters, and the keys to the kingdom, go, victory like that we could white linen gold green, ever superior mainstream, victory like that we could white linen gold green. Victory is my possession. Transgression, pocket full of coca leavio. Snow, hands of brushing, be rushing, droplets, God. These shoes on their feet. Run the marathon, nil. HIP on sack, shot old bags. Like they're being frozen. Click with me. All the choices, noises, Gentiles, that ocean, capture the moment, smile, Exodus 20, triumph, victory like at the end of the week, no Greek, no hijack, Shabbat, Shekinah, I hear you speak, words of wisdom, step by step, opposite frequency, it's a battle, way ready for something in the higher power. White linen gold green, ever superior mainstream, victory like that we could white linen gold dreams, ever superior mainstream. Knowledge is power, but now when you mix the truth with lies, knowledge is power, but now when you mix the truth with lies, knowledge is power, but now when you mix the truth with lies, let us straight with agendas. We gotta see between the lines. Too many manipulation, awareness on the rise. Erasing my past, putting the band, not opened up my eyes. Well, forgive my passes, and like Solomon, please make me wise. Determined to get in this illusion, we gotta survive. Fantasies of truth and love, genocide. Ancestors calling, Yasharala, we must arrive. Nation decipher the code, cause the weed has arrived. Feel decide. The sons of Abraham, the blood side. These heathens hijack the truth, just wanna divide. Slay, hijack, we never comply. Morgan, devils in disguise. It's raining fire, commanders in disguise. You see the fury in my eyes? Everyone like, who's this guy? The Jack melt, I roll with the most high. Some people control. Set farther, forward, gentle digger. My hundred night spiral. Construct Joseph, we all from Jacob. Victory like that we could live. Purple rain, white linen gold green, ever superior mainstream. Victory like that we could live. Purple rain, white linen gold greens, ever superior mainstream. It's the Drop Nation crew with you. The investigation continues. And what's on the menu? Food for thought, know who you are. All is vanity, so keep the code. That's the sole duty of a man, end quote. If you been woke, you should been known what we been on. We be dropping topics that they censor, putting spotlights on the members that hijack us. We bounce back up, can't keep us down. We the Nagas coming back to take the crown. We the Nagas that raise the conscious with sound. We being proud, look at how they market everybody favorite artist. That's a quick cough in a casket, and I ain't coughing or taking jabs. Cause if I'm coughing, I'm puffing gas. From past to present, we recovering memories, reconstructing history. My people, that's a victory. It's a victory like that we could. White is in the your midstream, victorious, the priesthood, of let's go, white. Let's get it. Another week of Toqeph, Binach. Another week of understanding this hijacked business. Let's go. So, the water for another mark, another deliverance of a Shabbat. Let's go and get it. So y'all know Orion, y'all know Moshe, y'all know Dawid, to have put on priestly garments. Huh? But how about this hijack business? When was he clothed? The garments of righteousness. Even though we understand and we overstand and understand the fact that there was no time for him to walk. We get told we get told that before he died, he was placed in these linens of higher kind status. Alright? And we gonna dig, we gonna research, and we gonna understand the evidence that's being provided through the Torah that Dawid was a Khan, the last noble image was a Khan, was a king, was a priest, among the best. So let's go, let's get ourselves ready. Take in this mem sauce. Alright, walk with me. So who gives authority? Who gives an account to Jesus, the supernaga, wearing fine linen? Walk with me. The Khan does, John does, this replica, this reflection of your last noble image. John devotes much attention to this supernaga, burial clothes. So when was he in high linen, high Khan status? On his burial, when he died. John tells us that Nicodemus brought about 100 pounds of myrrh. and all to spice his body, and that he was bound in linen wrappings. It goes on to say that his body and his head were wrapped separately. This is in John 19:39 through 40, 20 from 6 to 7. When the supernaga was raised from the dead, he apparently passed through these wrappings, leaving them behind as they were. Leaving them behind, right? So what does that mean? What's that telling us? That when he was so-called resurrected, when they give us the story of a resurrection, he didn't have these garments on. Leaving them behind. Now keep in mind, only John accounts of these things. Only the Khan, only John, only the replica has been falsified in this New Testament. Also, only John tells us that the soldiers divided the supernaga's garments into 4 parts, but did not divide his seamless tunic. This is in John 19:23 to 24. And what they want you to understand, what do they give you hopes and dreams of? Or do they give you something to latch on? What's this information provide? That at some time, this Jesus, the son of the morning, the sun worship, was as a great high priest. We already know Orion wore garments of glory and beauty and of righteousness when he carried out his work. When he carried out his work, Moshe business, Dawid business, Torah business, Tanakh business. Wow. And among these were a tunic of checkered work of fine linen. This is in Exodus 28 to 39. On the Day of Atonement, Orion set aside his glorious garments. Wore only holy garments consisting of linen tunics, undergarments, sash, and turban. When the work of atonement was concluded, Orion put back on his garments of glory and beauty. It's Leviticus 16. Everything is a topology. Everything is given to you as a joke. It's a joke. They present Jesus to you at his death. At his death, with high linen, garments of glory, garments of beauty, garments of righteousness. At his death. So what they want you to understand is the fact that your cons, your wine, your high priest, cons, died. They died. It's a joke. He's not wearing them before he does his work, before he does holy, purified, righteous work. But when he dies, who are you glorifying in New Testament? Whom are you glorifying? They're going to tell you shenanigans like, when his work was finished, he assumed a glorified body, that he didn't need these robes, that he didn't need this fine linen, these garments of righteousness. You see, the New Testament tells us that these garments are seamless. Understand and overstand. The seamless tunics removed from the supernaga at the crucifixion corresponds to Aaron's garments of glory and beauty. The tunic of Aaron's garments is the same word as the garments of skin Hawa made for Adam and Eve to cover their nakedness. Jesus' nakedness was exposed on the cross on your Tao Khan, signifying his humiliation and his taking and punishment for sins of the world. Come on. See, we done chopped him up long enough and hard enough, and we've been in the trenches to understand that nobody can forgive you for your sins other than the Most High. See, we understand the fact that this is a mockery, this is a pun, this is a joke. What is the fact that your con priests wear fine linen clothes? Who they mocking? They're mocking the people of Hasharella, the cons, the Levites. Understand and overstand that everything in the New Testament is a joke. But your people can't understand it. Our people can't understand it. Not until you break free. You have to be worthy to die with this garment. You have to be worthy, righteousness, to put on these garments and perform work. I said perform work. And we're going to get to it. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Because Dawid puts on linen of righteousness to perform work. Not to just die in. Like I said, they're putting on these garments on these suits so the people can continue to be brainwashed and thinking that Jesus was high Khan status, of a high priest status. But I say lie. It's all a joke. He's glorifying his death. He's glorifying his death. The sun god. This Jupiter business. This Rome business. This Greek business. See, I'm going to tell you again and again and again. Yosef is a hell of a story writer. I say Yosef is a hell of a story writer. Everything is stripped from you, Khan. Everything is made a joke of. Everything is made a joke of. It's ludicrous to think that you were put on fine linen just to accept that. So the world could see you as a person that delivers them from sin. God, it's all a joke. It's a punt. Let's go. 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, 41. Shalak.
Wow.
Pop off with 42. Wow business. I, Esdras, saw upon Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number. And they all praised Hawa with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of higher stature, of a higher kind stature.
Wow.
You're talking your last noble image. Taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns. That's you, Drop Nation. It's us that have left religion. We found the beat of the drum of Hawa. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled greatly. So I asked the Drakan and said, Sir, what are these? And the Drakan answered unto me and said, These be they that have put off mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Hawa. Now they are crowned and receive palms. Receive palms. Then said I unto the Drakan, What young person is it that crowned them and giveth them psalms in their hands? Who brought you psalms? Binach. Who wrote the book of Psalms for you? Who's giving you psalms now in this vision of Esdras? What? Your last noble image? God, let's go. Let's get it. So he answered unto me, It is the bond of Hawa, whom they have confessed in the world. Then I began greatly to commend them and stood so stiffly for the name of Hawa. Then the Drakan said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the power of Hawa thou hast seen. What we talking about? We're not talking about this figment, this character that was reconstructed in the New Testament. We're speaking about the mem regulator. We're speaking about Dawi. We're speaking about the Prester. Your last noble image. Huh? The righteousness. It is Hawa's bond. Now if you go get the King James Version, you're going to change that and put Jesus in it. You're going to change the wording. Everything's a joke. Everything's a pun. Everything's a mockery. But we getting it out the mud. We in the trenches. We've been in the trenches. Mud up our neck bone trying to get out this here trench. For our people's sake. But we already there. We're 2 steps ahead. And we don't look back. We keep it pumping forward. It's hijacked business. It's hijacked business. It's a no-no. And there's one more association. One more connection that these hijacks try to make with this burial clothes, with this supernova. They tell us that these gospels was written in order, and each gospel builds on preceding. It's all works of Yosef. They feel at liberty to make a connection from John to Matthew to Luke, where Luke tells us that Mary, you gotta bring your eyes in. Wrap Jesus in cloths, and laid him in a feeding trough. It's all metaphors they give you. It's all metaphors, people. The mother wrapped the baby in secure, warm clothes. But why do they draw attention to this? Because it's all metaphors. You see, they see Jesus as the food of the world. Laying in the feeding trough. As he was placed there, was no room for them in the inn. This event typologically prefigures the passion of this Christ business when he was cast out of the temple, end of Jerusalem. Then he is wrapped in clothes and laid in the tomb. Come on. Come on. Make sense of it. It's all a joke. It's all a pun. They laughing at you, Hebrew. They laughing at Jerusalem. We about to get to business. No more delay. Let's get it. In 1 Chronicles 1 through 9, the central feature of the genealogy is the priestly service of sons, of bonds, of Aaron and Levi. Yet, as the book unfolds, there is another priest. There is another one who takes center stage. Who is this priest, you might ask? Who is this Khan? Your last noble image. It's none other than Dawid himself. Royal priesthood after the order of Melchizedek.
Wow.
You see, Dawid's priesthood may be veiled to many readers because of the fact that Dawid is not called a priest and the king at the same time.
Wow.
But the cat is in the box. Is he dead or is he alive? It's all happening. Quantum physics. Dawid is both the king and the priest. And we finna get it. Because the passages like Exodus 28 and Deuteronomy 33 to 38, Shalaki, Deuteronomy 33, 8 to 11, restrict priesthoods to the sons of Aaron, yet taking those Levitical instructions seriously. We should not miss how 1 Chronicle presents and represents the last noble image, your Preston. We're talking Dawid. So I'm going to present 4 evidences, alright, of David's priesthood, his worthiness of the garments, his seal, his covenant between Abba and him. And we're going to get Shekinah. We're going to get some wisdom. Actions that identify Dawid as High Khan, priest. And I'm sure we can find more. It's going to come clear to us. Strakan vision is 360. Round about us. Let's proceed with this 1 Chronicles. So we can see. So we can understand, overstand. Dawid is presented in priestly ways. First Chronicles 15, 25 to 27. Let's read. You know what? Shalaki, let's back it up a bit. Let's back it up. Let's get it. Alright? Because as we know the story of the Ark of Awad, we know Dawid sent for Zadok, Abiathar, priest, and for the Levites. Dawid said to them, "You are the heads of the clans of the Levites. Sanctify yourself and your kinsmen, and bring up the ark of Hawa of Hasharal. I have prepared for it, because you were not there the first time. Hawa, our power, burst out against us, for we did not show due regard for him. The priests and the Levites sanctified themselves in order to bring up the ark of Hawa, the power of Hasharal." Levites in the building, priests in the building, that we is speaking, we in the building. The Levites carried the ark of Hawa by means of poles on their shoulders, as Moshe had commanded, in accordance with the word of Hawa. That we ordered the officers of the Levites to install their kinsmen, the singers with musical instruments, harps, lyres, cymbals, joyfully making their voices heard. There's order here. There's order here. There's order going on. Who's giving the order? The high priest. The last noble image, people. Who's in charge? Let's go. Let's jump down to 25. Then Dawid and the elders of Hasharal and the officers of thousands who were going to bring up the ark of the covenant of Hawa from the house of Obed-Edom. Who is that? That's Dawid's bloodline. That's Dawid's grandfather. Come on. Were joyful. Since Hawa helped the Levites who were carrying the ark of Hawa, the ark of the covenant of Hawa, Shalaki. They sacrificed 7 bulls, 7 rams. Now, Dawid and all the Levites who were carrying the ark, and the singers, and the Kanana officers of the songs of the singers were rap. Now who's rap? Who's rap now in your New Testament? Lenin. It's all a joke. It's all a pun. It's all energy being taken from your Torah, from your Tanakh, to reconstruct a new word, a new vibration that the Most High ain't give you. Wrapped in robes of fine linen. And Dawid, your last noble image, wore a linen ephod. Come on. Come on. So let's overstand and understand. Y'all know King Saul. Y'all know Saul was around the prophets. Chronicles present Dawid as among the priests and as clothed with the priest. Not Saul. Clothed of fine linen, as were all the Levites. And as this book opens out 360 perspective, it focuses on Dawid's righteousness. Dawid's righteousness. His obsession with bringing the Ark of Yerushalayim.
Wow.
In so doing this, Dawid is presented as leading, organizing, and even teaching the Levites, the priestly servants of Hasherah. Come on. Y'all know what time it is? Yosef in the ether. The mem regulator in the ether. Dawid in the ether. Your last noble image in the ether. You understand me? There's a significance here. I said a significance here. That these actions can't be overlooked. That these actions are meaningful. These actions is found not only in association with the Levites, but the tribe of Hasherah, identified by Hawa to stand before him as servants in his house. It is also found in his priestly actions. It is further magnified by the fact that no other high priest is presented in these chapters. Thus, Dawid, like Moshe, who is never called a priest, serves as the leading mediator before power, before Hawa. You see, you backtrack and you pop off from, come on, chapter 13. Let's get it. That reconstructs all this. He's your last noble image. In the order of Melchizedek. 13 starts off like this. Then Dawid consulted with the officers of the thousands and of the hundreds and every chief officer. Dawid said to the entire assembly of Hasherah, if you approve and if Hawa, our power, concurs, let us send far and wide to our remaining kingsmen throughout the territories of Hasherah, including the priests and Levites in the towns where they have pasture lands, that they should gather together to us in order to transfer the ark of our power to us. For throughout the days of Saul, we paid no regard to it. He's orchestrated. Your king, your Khan, your last noble image. And guess what? The entire assembly agreed upon it. For the proposal pleased all the people of Hasherah. He's giving order here. He's proving his worthiness of his clothes, his linen, his ephod. But everything's a joke in the New Testament. They're laying these suits down in linen. glorifying death, this sun god, this sun worship, this Jupiter business, this Saturn business. Everything's a hijack. Kinfolk, confolk. He's assembling here. (13 to 16), he's organizing. He's showing his status of a high priest. Chapter 14 even pops off when King Hiram of Tyre sent envoys to Dawid with cedar logs, stonemen, carpenters to build a palace for him. All the what? How's the ark? To be put where? Chapter 15, City of Dawid. A place for the ark of Hawa. You see, there's order here. I said there's order here. There's order here. But meanwhile, our people lost in the sauce behind religion. They don't understand the meaning of a Khan priest. They don't understand that your last noble image is all that and then some. Mem sauce flowing. Let's go. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it popping. 2. David is clothed with linen ephod. Let's get it. Even more significant than the mere association with the Levites is the priestly attire that Dawid is wearing in 1 Chronicles 17:27. And Dawid wore a linen ephod. Already, David's attire is compared to the Levites. But here, special attention is given to his ephod. In Exodus 28, we've come to find out that the high priests are given clothing that, among other things, matches the tabernacle, communicates the glory of Hawa to the people of Hasharel, and brings to remembrance the 12 tribes before Hawa. Central to these priestly garments is a linen ephod. This ephod served Hawa. This ephod served as the priest's basic robe for all the ways ephods were made, worn, and even misused in Scripture. They always carried a priestly connection, a connotation,
Wow.
a significance of righteousness between that person and the Most High. Come on. For instance, Samuel, Ahijah, and the priest of Nob all wore ephods. Come on. Come on. I can't make this up. This is not told. I told you we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to understand why our Khan is a priest and the king. Why he's the Drakan. He's giving order here. He's giving order here. But you don't see that in the New Testament. You're told to turn the other cheek. You're told to let people do what they wish with you. You're told to let Rome do what they want with you. Matter of fact, you're told to carry a soldier's bag, a soldier's luggage, for miles upon miles. There's nothing else to say, but the one that's wearing an ephod is a priest of high stature. Accordingly, when Dawid wears the ephod, his priestly status is signified. It is signified and declared. The history of ephods in 1 Samuel also suggests that the ephod worn by the priest of Nob is the one that Dawid wears. When the ark is brought into Jerusalem. Do you understand, my people? It's all a joke. It's all a pun. It's topologies, left and right, in this here New Testament. It's all topologies. Not only that, let's get to evidence number 3. Dawid's city becomes the home of the ark. In Leviticus, a book given for the instruction of priests, of high priests, is told to sprinkle altar on the mercy seat, which is on the Ark of the Covenant, once a year on the Day of Atonement. It's Leviticus 16. Thus, the priest served at this altar, which is to say, in reverse, where the ark is, priests are. You understand? It's as simple as it sounds. Yet, in Chronicles 16, the ark is no longer found in the tabernacle where Zadok and the other sons of Aaron served. Rather, Dawid, the last noble image, puts the ark in his city under a tent, thus associating priesthood with Jerusalem, amongst Hawa. Come on, let's get it. It's Psalms 132. Oh, Hawa, remember in David's favor his extreme self-denial, how he swore to Hawa, vowed to the mighty one of Hakab, I will not enter my house, nor will I mount my bed. I will not give sleep to my eyes or slumber to my eyelids until I find a place for Hawa, and the bowl for the mighty one of Hakab, of Hasharel. We heard it was in Ephraim. We came upon it in the region of Jar. Let us enter his abode, bow at his footstool, Shalaki. Advance, O Hawa, to your resting place. You and your mighty ark, your priests are clothed in triumph. your loyal ones sing for joy for the sake of your servant, your last noble image, Tawi. Do not reject your anointed one. Hawa swore unto David and gave their lands as a heritage to his people. You understand, my people? You understand the severity, overstanding, understanding. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. We've been manipulated to think that Jesus holds all dominion, all power, which is a misunderstanding, a falsehood, a teaching that is not ordained, a teaching that doesn't give order, but brings chaos. Let's get it. You see, Chronicles 16 through 37, Shalaki, Chronicles 16, 37 to 39, goes as far as to separate the ark from the tabernacle, placing the former in Jerusalem under David's care, and leaving the tabernacle in Gibeon under the care of Zadok. Let's get it. Let's get it. He left Aspa and his kingsmen there before the ark of the covenant of Hawa to minister before the ark regularly as each day required. Hawa. As well as Obed Edom. Overstand who Obed Edom is. With their kingsmen, 68. Also Obed, son of Jedidah and Hosea as gatekeepers. Also Zadok, the priest, and his fellow priests before the tabernacle of Hawa at the shrine which was in Gibeon.
Wow.
Come on. Come on. We popping off here. This is the superior of the priesthood of the last noble image that we's given over Zadok. And it goes even further. For when David praises Hawa in 1 Chronicles 17, he does so having received Hawa's covenant promise that his son, his bond, Solomon, would build the temple, the place where the ark would dwell. Come on. You can't make this up. It's that mem sauce. Mem sauce flowing. Mem sauce in the building. You want chaos? Hit the dope. Go transition to the New Testament. Because if you ain't ready for this, you ain't ready to bow down to the Most High. We all know at this time, Solomon was his ban, choice from Moab. And Solomon will receive an eternal throne in response of David's phrase, Hawa, and takes courage to pray for him. Therefore your servant has found courage to pray before you. Your servant has found courage to pray before Hawa. David found courage to stand before the ark and pray like a priest, like the Khan, like the last noble image they were looking for. After this, you got your 7 cities of gold. You got the septimanium popping off. Then after a while, you got Nehemiah, aka Esdras, being sent back to restore order. They're reduced. Nehemiah. Restore order to the kingdom that Solomon has built. Solomon built. See, that we brought the ark to Jerusalem, leaving the priests in Gibeon to preserve it, watch over it. And you see, previously, it was the priest who stood before the ark and prayed before Hawa. Anyone who forced their way to the altar, anyone who forced their way to the altar, like Saul did in 1 Samuel 13:12, did so in violation. Do you understand, my people? Saul was not worthy. Saul was not worthy. If you done that, it was in violation. So we understand that Hawa has appointed David, his servant, as king, as priest, as all of the above. The cat is in the box. Is he alive or is he dead? It's all happening. David is king. David is priest. It's all happening. Welcome to quantum physics, Binach. It's all occurring. You have to understand and understand what we're talking about here, people. It's 432 Drop Nation. We're in an umbrella under Hawa. We are the ones that's going to be glorified with crowns, with psalms in our hands, given to us by the Ban himself. Understand that before this was a violation. It was Hawa's rule. Hawa's rules, Hawa's covenants for the altar. But yet, David stood before it and prayed to Hawa. You see, he found the courage. He found the courage within himself. It's all happening. That we recognize the gracious invitation to approach the throne of grace and offer prayer, because he is your last noble image. He is the Khan. He is priest king. You see, no priest can just select themselves. And every time a priest or a Levite or another servant seeks to exalt themselves and approach Hawa without permission, they die. We got examples here. Nabib, Abiha, Korah, and Hosea. Therefore, approaching Hawa takes courage, Shalaki. Therefore, approaching Hawa takes courage, for it is dangerous to draw near to Hawa. Yet, here, in response to Hawa's grace, that we does draw near to Hawa in prayer. Hawa business. Evidence. Thus, evidence Hawa's favor on David and David's priestly status. Come on, man. This ain't a game here. This straight mem sauce flowing. Mem sauce in the building. It's Hawa business. This invitation for Dawid to approach Hawa, coupled with his sons, promised the throne, the Davidic throne, may be part of the background to Dawid's royal priestly songs. In Psalms 110. Come on. Come on. Priesthood is primarily about doing things, about carrying out Hawa's rituals and procedures, rather than about being a particular kind of person, Shalaki, or having a particular genealogical descent. You understand, my people? You understand? It's about order. It's about order. It's about the path of righteousness. And Dawid demonstrates his priesthood throughout a series of actions that he takes with the Levites. This is what we have to stand on. This is your last noble image, priesthood. Put to the test by none other than Vatican, your New Testament. They want to strip that. They make a mockery of it. They put Jesus and Lenin. You see, when he brings the ark to Jerusalem, he acts because Because he is the one, the Kenobi. He is the priest, the king. In ways mentioned. You see, Dawi leads the procession of the priests who are carrying the ark. You understand? Dawi offers burnt offerings. These offerings certainly involve the Levitical priests. But what did verse 2 say? That we have finished offering the burnt offerings and peace offerings, thus indicating him as what? Hakan status, Hakan priest status, your last noble image, my people. Come on. There ain't no other. There ain't no other. Dawi blesses the people in the name of Hawa. This is an unmistakable priestly action. Do you understand, my people? Do you understand? It's simple as 1, 2, 3. It's simple as bearing the mark, bearing the tie. It's simple. Don't misdestruct your ways in the ways of a sinner, in the ways of a New Testament, in the ways of a false doctrine. You see in Numbers, chapter 6, 24 to 26, Hawa granted Aaron and his sons the role of blessing the people. You see, blessings came from the altar. It was the priest's place to meditate the blessing for the people. And what has your last noble image done? Sit here and wait. The exceptional. What was given to him. He became the servant. He became the son. He became the Khan. He became the priest. He became your last noble image. That was his place to ordain order. Dawi shares his meal with the people of Hasharel. We learn from Moshe that only the priest could eat the sacrifices. Come on. Come on! You want to talk about this and that? You want to talk about this, that? This cat walked on water. This cat produced wine from water. This cat healed the sick, healed the blind. But we've been covering topologies after topologies. We understand. We know. We got the mem sauce. We left the chaos. We understand order when we read order. We understand order because we are order. When Hasharel, as a nation, ate of the sacrifices, you understand? They functioned as a kingdom of priests Thus, the eating and distribution of bread. Come on. The distribution of bread. Who's giving you bread now? The bread of who? The bread of Christ, the bread of Jupiter, the bread of Saturn, the bread of Zeus. Who wants to feed you now? Cakes of raisins, etc. This, my people, suggests Dawid's priestly connection. Dawid's priestly actions. You see, they can't take your last noble image. They can't take that from you. You can only forget your last noble image. But you got to come back to the mem sauce. You got to come back to that sauce that was stripped from you.
Wow.
Let's get it, man. Let's put this to rest. Because we in the ether popping off. My aqua's popping off. My cons are popping off. It's only right for Yosef to pop off. Finally, by bringing the ark to Yerushalayim, Dawid learns from the mistake of carrying the ark on the cart. On the cart, y'all know they had troubles. Y'all know they had problems. You see, we're men. And we all don't get it right. We all don't keep it right. But we learn within the order that Hawa wants us to be in. So we go through our trials. We go through our chastisements. We go through bad vibrations. As it is written. But yet, as we continue to learn from the law of Hawa, we understand. And this is thus how your last noble image was able to understand. As he, Dawid, has become a teacher of the law, his priestly duty. You see, Dawid said that no one but the Levites may carry the ark of Hawa. Dawid's correction comes from the law and his teachings of the law. This is what enables us. This is what enables the people of Hasharel to worship Hawa, the power in all truth. In all truth, my people. You see all these actions and all these doings that we has done is evidence alone to understand that your kind priest, your last noble image, was a servant, was a bond, was a king, and finally became a priest. Because Hawa permitted it, because of righteousness. You have David's association with the priest, with the Levites. You have his priestly attire that only the Levites wore, making his city the home of the ark. You understand? Chronicles is telling us that David is identified as a Khan, as a priest, king. Accept the law, accept your vibration, accept your role as it draws you near to the Most High. Accept your worthiness and understand that your value in Shamayim is going up, just like the variables round about us are going up. Don't let the New Testament deny you of your noble priest, your last noble image, your last Khan, because they have been robbing us since day one. And when you come back to that mem sauce, it feels so good, it feels so righteous. You understand? We walking on that sauce. We walking on mem sauce like that we. Because we keep in order. We're understanding who our noble image is. We understand what's been taken from us. We understand that through our flaws, we are where we are. But at some point, it's all gotta give. You see, Hawa hears us. Amma hears us. So sooner rather than later, we're gonna let that Esdras pop. We're gonna have to accept who we are in the face of adversity, in the face of religion. You see, the promise of a better priest, a promise of a better king, the ongoing story of Hasharel that leads to a better royal priesthood. Who, like a previous Hashua, Joshua will bring the Ark of the Covenant into the presence of Hawa. All of that and more is found in our Tanakh, our Torah, First Chronicles. Talking about that we, the servant, the bond, the king, the priest. Till next week, my people. It's been fun. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I couldn't stop it in the middle. I had to keep pumping it. I know I'm over, but rather you get this message in full than to me break it up. It's all Hawa business. Till next week. Tawada. El Hawakwan for the platform. Tawada for the vibrations. Abba. Tawada for the journey of Shekinah. Amma. Till next week. Hey hi to all.